Ever wonder why teams keep running into the same problems over and over again, even when they are doing everything by the book? They hold daily check ins, they run iterations, and yes, they even do retrospectives. So, why does nothing really change? Most retrospectives are theater. When teams just go through the motions, they don't surface what really matters. They don't adapt. And that means that every iteration is just a slightly faster march towards burnout, missed goals, or worse, irrelevance. Most teams say they're doing retrospectives, but if we're honest, most aren't really doing them at all. They're just checking a box, reciting a few platitudes, and then moving on. That's a problem. Because without real reflection, there's no real learning, there's no change. And without learning, you're not agile, you're just busy. 12 Agile Principle says at regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. It sounds simple, and in a way it is. And yet, few teams actually do it well. Why? Because real reflection is uncomfortable. It requires mindfulness and psychological safety. It demands that people think carefully and talk about what didn't go well without fear of retaliation or embarrassment. And that means culture, not process. That's what makes the difference between a successful and a wasteful retrospective. This principle is the heartbeat of a learning culture. It's how we turn experience into insight and insight into adaptation. It's not about blame, it's about growth. It's about treating work like a scientific experiment. We try something, we observe what happens, and we improve from there. Teams that skip this step or do it without real engagement get trapped in what I call the plan do loop. They plan, they execute, and they rinse and repeat without ever stopping to check what's actually working. Without that pause, there's no adjustment, just repetition. They're not improving, they're just reinforcing the status quo. That's not agile, that's autopilot. And it's a great way to go fast in the wrong direction. When teams commit to genuine reflection, remarkable transformations follow. One tech team I remember replaced generic check ins with focused candid retrospectives, identified a process bottleneck, and saw both efficiency and morale soar. Another one implemented blameless postmortems, which transformed a painful release into valuable learning that prevented future issues. The difference? These teams weren't checking boxes, they were creating space for honest insights and acting on them. The most common signs that you are not heading in a good direction are hearing phrases like, "That's just the way that we do things around here," or "We've always done it that way." Those are red flags. They signal stagnation, not evolution. And in complex environments, stagnation is dangerous, especially when AI is involved, because AI doesn't wait. It learns, it adapts, it gets better fast. If your human teams aren't doing the same, you're going to fall behind. Not because you lack the tools or processes, but because you've built a culture that resists learning. Let's talk about leadership for a minute. Micromanagement has no place here. When we ask teams to reflect and adapt, we also need to give them the space and support to act on what they've learned. That's what leadership looks like in learning cultures. It's not about control, it's about context. It's not about having all the answers, it's about creating the environment where good questions are asked. Psychological safety plays a big role in that. People need to know it's safe to speak up, to disagree, to challenge assumptions, because only then can they learn from each other, innovate, and evolve together. And that's what gives humans the edge. AI handles the repeatable stuff, it automates the known. And humans, we adapt to the unknown. We respond to novelty, we grow. That's the value of real retrospectives. They don't just improve process, they improve people. They give teams the opportunity to stop, breathe, think, and learn. They remind us that work isn't just about doing, it's about becoming a better version of ourselves at every iteration. So here's the challenge. Does your organization regularly reflect upon and deeply on whatever they're doing and they do so courageously? Do your teams feel safe to surface not just what's good and happy to share, but what's not working? Do they complete the loop, plan, do, check, and adjust based on what they've learned? Or are they stuck repeating the same behaviors, hoping for different results? And what would change if they did things differently? If this has sparked some reflection on your own, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment and let us know what's really happening in your retrospectives. And if you'd like to learn more about the plan, do, check, and act PDCA cycle, click one of these. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.